Hello, everybody. It is I, Claude Bawles, with the my Bawles cast. I've decided to call it not a broadcast, but the Bawles cast, and just to finish off the day for you folks in America. I think it's quite getting late at night. Yeah, it's been an interesting week. I have survived the apocalypse, which is why I've entitled the production Claude Bawles eclipsed, not eclipse, but eclipsed instead. So here I was, obviously thinking the world was going to end if I'd listened to one or two people, such as Achilles, although he never quite outright said it. And now, yet I am still here, talking to myself. So I take it that I've unmuted myself, so that's all good, and that people can actually hear me if they are watching. Hello. How are you, Mud? I see you in there. Yes, it's just going to be a quiet show today, I think. Not going to say too much. Baba Ali is in the show, so that's interesting. I think I recognize Baba Ali. Are you the furry? No, it looks like a dog. There's a guy called the Furry Atheist, and I was hoping Sunday he would come on. So, yeah, but I I don't think that's Baba Ali now. When I take a closer look, but I wonder who Baba Ali is. Not Ali Baba. Interesting. Anyway, you're welcome on, or just to be in the chat. Yes, so I was very pleased to still be alive after the the eclipse, and that's something actually that I have noticed. That although many Christians know where they're going, that they're never in a particular hurry to get there, which makes me wonder how convinced, they are. Just never quite sure. So I know, for example, Ken, no hurry to get to this place with many mansions, whereas I thought people would be in a hurry to get there. So it's one of the little things that I've noticed. Missing Mod has said she's not an atheist, but she's furry. Yes, well, we are. I guess it's our descent from certain ancestors. There's some residuals left over, but yeah, I don't know if you do know. There is a guy who dresses as a dog, and that's his sort of thing. And he has a show called The Furry Atheist. It's actually not bad. Quite interesting. And for many times I've said, come on, it'd be good to interview, because I think it is quite interesting if any of us, and by that I mean whether it's Mark or Gangster Ghost or Missing Mod, to have a guest on the show and talk to is actually quite good. So that's what I thought The Furry Atheist would have been a good one. So anyway, I'm left in suspense now, wondering the picture of the dog from Baba Ali. I'm tempted to say Ali Baba is, yeah. But yes, as I say, we ended up back in here and as normal, and so there was no need for us to go fishing or other things that we enjoyed, thinking it was the last day of the world. Something I did put a clip up just the other day, which I thought was quite interesting. I don't know if anybody's heard of an Irish comedian. His name is Dave Allen. Very interesting sort of a guy, and he did a Noah's Ark thing. No, well, he probably did that as well, but he did an Adam and Eve thing, which I thought was very funny. So if unless somebody comes on, I might have to threaten to play it because I'm going to run out of things to say and do if I'm just talking to myself. So we'll just see. It's only a few minutes long, and just wait and see in case anybody wants to come on here first. Anyway, I do hope that you quite liked my name, the name that I came up with the. Oh, here we go. The eclipse thing. I thought it was clever, even if nobody else did, as I did for the term Bawles cast, which if I can remember, I will use it in future. So, yes, let's. Yeah, yes. Oh, I'm just getting this ready to show. Now, wait a minute. I will go back to Streamer because sometimes people, nobody has tried to come on. But yes, Tubian says Dave Allen, a very funny guy, and he has passed away, and that's correct. And all he did, the only thing he had for a prop, he'd sit on a stool. That was his sort of a thing, a bar stool, and he'd have a drink in one hand, and maybe in the early days even smoking, which is not very politically correct, is it? Not nowadays. Yeah. That's okay for anybody who does. It's a late start, so if anybody doesn't feel like coming on, that's not a problem. I am now going to do the share the screen, and goodness, I'm a technological genius. I could get a job at Dinosaur Adventureland if I, maybe. Well, probably not. Okay, so let's. If somebody could say in the comments if they can see this, but I think it's a very interesting little clip by Mr. Allen. Okay, here we go.
I am what you might call a practicing atheist. We're not bothering them all the time, saying, "Oh God, please help me on this thing." And as a practicing atheist, there's certain things that I travel around the world, and no matter where I go, somebody called Gideon leaves me this book to read. It's an Irish book because it said it all began at the beginning.
That's quite funny. So wherever he goes, somebody called Gideon leaves him his book. It must be the Gideon Bibles, and it's an Irish book because it says in the beginning there was the beginning. I think he's quite funny.
There are certain things when I read the Bible, and I do read the Bible, that I find difficult to understand. I mean, if God has been there forever, what was he doing before he got to us? I mean, what was he out there doing? Was he sitting there going, bored today? What'll I do? I mean, suddenly from nowhere, he suddenly decided to create a world. I'll make a world. Make a world. Yes, that's what I'll do. Rivers, seas, mountains. Boom, everything's there. I want a garden. I'd like a nice garden. Whack! Gardening. Hate gardening. Need a garden. Gardener, spit and dust. Adam. Hey! And Adam, never once says, where in the name of God did I come from? I mean, he's 40 years of age. He has no child, and he has no recall. He doesn't say, how did I get here? But he's quite happy. He just kind of trundles around the garden, working away. And God is looking at him. And he sees that Adam is happy. I didn't put him there to be happy. I'll put a stop to that. And God, during the night, sneaks down like a thief and steals, doesn't ask, doesn't request, steals it. His rib. And from his rib, he makes woman. And Adam wakes up in the morning, he's a real Vicky. He's lying there. And there's somebody else. He doesn't say, where did you come from? How the hell did you get here? Where did you get those lumps? Just goes out and goes gardening. And God comes down and has a conversation with Eve and tells her that she can eat of any fruit in the tree in the whole garden with the exception of one fruit tree. He's talking to a woman. He actually tells her not to eat of the fruit. And then when she said, which tree can I eat? He said, that one over there. He points it out to her. And when he goes and hides, and she sneaks up to the tree, and a snake comes down and has a conversation. A snake. Now, if I see a snake, I'll back off. One starts talking, I'll crap myself. And the snake actually convinces her to eat the apple. And she eats the apple. And when she eats the apple, she learns shame. That's what happens when you eat apples. Now, she's not ashamed that she's disobeyed God or that she's eaten the apple. She's ashamed of one part of her body. That's all. She becomes ashamed of that area of the body. Now, why that area? Why not her elbow? Her nose. You actually realize that if Eve had been ashamed of her nose, every woman in the world now would be ashamed of your noses. You'd all be sitting here tonight with little nose knickers on. Men would be in nightclubs watching totally naked ladies with G-strings on the nose. Take them off. Oh, I saw a nose. And this is the book. This is the book that you'll go into court and place your hand upon. And swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes, yes, that was Dave's Alan's take on on Adam and Eve, and per Aspera said, "Is this a British church service?" No, I wish actually. It was actually quite funny, and yes, that don't eat of this fruit. You know, you're telling a woman, do everything else, don't touch this tree. What's she gonna do? Touch that particular tree and eat that particular fruit, which he pointed out to her. So, anyways, an interesting little start. Now, has anybody got any suggestions in the comments of what we might want to talk about? I don't know if anybody is there who is prepared to come on. Father Charles, I don't know how you're going. I was going to say that I was going to make a big announcement today, but I'm not. I've decided. But I'm wondering how you're going. Oh, Big Bad Mama is here. That's good. That's lucky for me. Hello, Big Bad Mama. Can you air it? Yeah. How's your phone? Is it run out of battery?
It's got it's half.
Oh, well, that'll be plenty. We're not
50%.
Well, you know me, I don't go for the long shows. I'm short and to the point.
That was a good clip. That was funny.
Have you ever seen that before or heard of it?
No. And pretty insightful. I mean, I really like the part where he says, what is Adam thinking when he's created? It never really says, He's got no memories of anything.
And then what does he think when Eve's suddenly there, I suppose, Oh.
Right. And then isn't he like have a wound in his...
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, maybe it was...
Doesn't he wake up with a big wound in his side?
I think in those days, because of the ice canopy, that wounds just healed instantly. From what I understand from Dr. Whatever his name is, the great creation scientist, Dr.
Dino.
You can turn that back, Dr. No Die. Yeah, Dr. No Die and Dr. Diner. So and it was funny when Paraspera put on the comments, is this a British church service?
Right.
But Dave does some very good funny ones. He's the one that talks about his first day at school, and he and these people that he thinks looks like penguins, must have been the nuns, and they say, "Do you love God, little boy?" "Ooh, he loves you." Then he says, he looks in the distance. You see this fella hanging on a cross. He says, "Oh yes, I love him." Oh dear. So yeah.
Did you ever see that Rowan Atkinson stand-up comedy routine where he's the devil?
Yeah. Oh, right. And inviting people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Calling out names.
That's pretty funny.
It's very funny.
He like has a special, the French,
The French. Yes. The French. The whole, all of
right.
them. Not just
The entire people.
It's because of that sort of age-old animosity between Britain and France. It's
right. It's never gone away since probably since the invasion of by the Normans, probably William the Conqueror.
Yes. I think it's not so bad now, but it used to be quite a thing. So now Father Charles says that when Adam saw Eve, the hormones automatically kicked in. Well, I suppose, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you'd wonder, you could, an experiment, a woman and a man born, kept in isolation all their lives, don't know anything, live in a box, put on a desert island, they suddenly meet each other. What's going to happen?
Yeah, the biology takes over.
Yeah, well, I think they get married first, of course, because that's important. Just like animals get married and then have babies.
Did you see that Matt Powell clip? I put it up as a short, but it was him talking about, I believe, the Talmud. And he was saying there's a section in there, and maybe somebody knows about this better than I do, where they made the animals for Adam to basically mate with to see if he liked any of them before they made Eve. Did you see that?
Really? Oh, I'm going to go back and how long ago did you put that up?
Maybe like 2 weeks ago.
And
it's just got a picture. Yeah, it's a short. It's got a picture of Matt Powell on it.
Yeah. I think I've seen that one, but I don't remember that bit about the. Yeah, I'll have to go and have another look. What was Matt's response to that? What did he think?
Well, he was saying Judaism was the worst of the religions because God is transsexual in I believe it's the Talmud. And there was the part about the animals, and then he just made it seem like the entire religion was reprobate. And how those guys are always like going after, they never go after their own religion, but it's always against Mormonism or some other sect of Christianity.
Catholicism, and
Islam.
Kent always waves his hand around and says that really stupid rhyme that kids got over many years ago. Yeah.
I think some animals are monogamous.
Oh, yeah. Well,
they might not get married formally, but they mate for life, as far as I understand.
That's right. Yes. I was just, because of course Kent always talks about them. They get married. And protozoa get married. It's just ridiculous. but per aspera ad astra says that's why some purity culture kids receive zero sex education. Their parents figure they don't need instructions. But that's what leads to all sorts of problems.
Right.
And misconception. Well, misconception maybe is the wrong word. Probably conception.
If you're told you can't have sex, and I mean, when you're a teenager, like older than that, that's what you're going to do. I mean, and if you're not taught anything about it beforehand,
Yeah.
these, I don't know. I don't want to generalize.
No, I know what happens. Oh, terrible, terrible. There's not too many of us have dated 300 girls at high school and not done anything. That's only, it's only Kent, I think, was able to resist that sort of thing.
Kent and that friend of his, because wasn't there a friend? And
Yeah.
when they would go up the stairs, they would quote from the Bible and shield their eyes from the miniskirts.
Yeah. Yes.
What a story!
No, it's a great story.
I have to find that again because
yeah, it's time to put it up again.
It's time to dust that one off.
Yeah. Mark says monogamy was not the gist of his question. He was referring to the tradition, ceremony, and pomp of weddings and marriage. Yes, which is right. It's very convenient because I would have thought, for marriage there is the government involved, but it's a recognition before the state and for those that are religious before God. But Kent does seem to cut that state thing out, and even as far as divorce goes, and he just waves his hands and does annulments. So it's very easy. In that case, you may as well just say you're living together, shouldn't you?
They're church annulments. They don't mean anything. I mean, marriage is a civil contract, and as far as I can see, he's still married to Mary.
Yes, a number of people will be thinking that. God.
And a church, what is I mean, he got a church wedding, but it doesn't hold any weight whatsoever with the state.
No, and it's very easy, isn't it? And that if you can do that, then you can go and meet someone, decide you want to bunk, say you're married in the eyes of God, and the next day, when your arm is trapped under her head and you can't escape because you realize that she looks quite different to what the night before and you're gnawing your own arm off, you wave your hands and you're single again.
And you just say you annulled it in the church. And then, but what does that mean? I mean, was there a document involved, or, did Brady Byram annul it or something? Or
I think Kent waved his hand or whatever, but I don't know. Claude, Rex Nielo says, where is it? As Claude, as an ordained minister, I pronounce you my wife. Oh, well, I'm reasonably open-minded, but no, thank you.
I married I acted as a, I don't know if minister is the word, but I married my friends.
I've heard you marry your friends, yes.
No, I mean...
Oh, you mean as a celebrant?
I was the ordained person and married them.
That's very good. Yes, that's right.
So I had to put on a ceremony, and it went well. They're still married.
Yeah, well, probably all to do with the way you conducted the ceremony. Yeah,
I'm sure that had a lot to do with it.
Rex says that Islam has pleasure marriages for that very thing. So that is quite interesting. I didn't know that. I have to look it up later. So, in order to get around the rule that you can't have sex before marriage, they come up with all sorts of different things. And Kent probably has done very similar with his so-called weddings that he does organize himself. Yeah. Goodness, Mark saying is, why are animals subject to human governments? That is, I have to pay a license for my dog, why then I have to pay a license for my child. Yes, well, very interesting.
Well, people probably should actually have to get a license before they have children.
Yes, well, that's right. Do we ascribe anthropomorphic traits to creatures? Well, we probably do because we get to love certain creatures, don't we? You know, if you have a dog, you love that dog.
Yeah, but I think if you treat that dog like it's a human and a child, you're missing out on the dog nature of that animal.
All right.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
but we certainly anthropomorphize God.
Oh, well, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. We've done that for a long time. Are you back now from your eclipse
Yeah,
watching? Yeah.
yeah, I'm back.
Did you like the title of my show, Claude Bawles Eclipsed? You didn't even notice, did you? No. Did you
No,
notice that
I
I was
heard about the what was it, the Balls files
Bawles
or
Bawles cast?
oh, the Balls
It was-
cast.
It's taken me ages to remember it. Don't confuse me with Bawles file. Yeah, Claude Bawles caster. You know, instead of a broadcaster. Oh dear. Oh, poor
uh
Marcus just had a bit of an accident with his dog. Just crop dusted him.
oh.
No.
They call
I
that
never, yes, I never
crap.
knew.
They also call it crap dusting.
All right. Well, I never heard of that term until I heard that if you're like on an aeroplane and they have what do you call the people that serve you on the aeroplane?
The stewardess
Stewards,
or
yeah, or the host, or whatever, yeah. Well, if they don't like you because you're rude to them, they go around and they'll crop dust you.
yeah, but how can you crop dust just one person?
Well, you do. Well, you just, yeah,
You
well,
punish
some
the
of them,
whole
you
punish the
punish the
whole group.
whole plane. So I'm very reluctant to do that. Like ever argue
You're
because I don't want
what?
to be. I'm very reluctant to argue with a flight attendant. That's
Oh,
about it.
right,
Because
right.
same as don't. It has to before you go sending your food back if you don't like it in a restaurant. Just be aware of what can happen behind the scenes if you're an awful person about it. So
That's true.
yeah, so the
They
Claude is
can
very
put any
careful.
bodily fluid on food.
Anything could happen if you. I think
Anything can
most of the
happen.
times, yeah. I think most of the times nothing happens because most
Right.
people are reasonable. But if you are very aggressive or whatever, maybe you get a bit back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd like to hope that's never happened to me.
Well, I don't think it has either. I may have to take a testing kit in future. Oh dear. Um, so now that you're back again in your stomping ground, have you plans for any more expeditions? Perhaps in search of fossils or
Yeah,
whatever.
in about a month and a half, I might be going on a trip to Nebraska, which is,
Oh.
do you know where that is?
I've heard the name
Kind of in
Nebraska.
the
It's
middle
in
of
the
the
center.
country,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I have to plan it with, I'm planning it with somebody, so I have to see what that person's schedule is.
Is it an exciting place, Nebraska? Like lots of
Um,
lights?
the history's interesting. Scenically, I would say Western Nebraska is really pretty.
Oh,
Because there's even some hills and trees and rock formations and stuff, but then it's just kind of plains like Kansas. But the towns are interesting and the history's interesting.
oh,
Yeah, I don't know. Her family lives there, so she's gonna go visit them, and I know them as well. So I'm thinking of going along for the visit.
yeah.
We'll see.
Are you going to take anyone special with you as well?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, right.
Um,
Oh, don't tell
Yeah.
us too much. Mm. How
Somebody
far?
really special.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking maybe one of the group here.
Oh, well, I don't know how that would work out.
It might not work out that well.
But
Anyway,
Claude, if you really want to go, I'd be happy to have you along. You
well,
would just have
at
to
the
get your
moment,
own room, but I'd be happy to
yeah,
hang out with you and have you along on this trip. So
you're
just keep
very
that in mind.
you're very lucky that I can't escape at the moment.
If you're going to visit the United States, Nebraska is probably not the place you want to go first, I would imagine.
All right. Okay. Oh, that's yeah. I think I will want. I have to obviously visit the mod, and then the Dino Land, and then obviously some national parks. That's what I'd like to do.
Yeah, sounds good.
Rex says the early church fathers put their marriages in written contracts and would do temple or church ceremonies, normally following the Jewish practice of the time. Yeah.
Hmm.
Then Per Aspera says Nebraska's slogan used to be Nebraska. Honestly, it's not for everyone.
That's true. That's
I like
very
that.
true.
Is that true or is that a joke? It's
No, I don't
funny.
know if that's the slogan or not, but it's hilarious.
Oh my goodness. Yes. It'd be good to have a slogan like, whatever, we're leaving is the best thing. Oh, Mark can get me into national parks for free.
Okay, so Mark's got one of the passes.
Yeah.
They used to
Maybe
be like a golden eagle pass, or maybe he gets it because of his service. Maybe he can tell
right.
us in the chat.
Yeah. Oh well.
That's good because national parks are expensive, and if you go to like Utah, then you're going to be hitting a lot of national parks. Yeah,
So
gold star.
yeah. So are they expensive? What if I was to dress up as a blind person? And do you think that would help me
They would
get in?
charge you still.
Would they? Oh,
Yeah.
I'd pull out the wrong denomination note and give it to them. Then.
Right. You could pull out a $10 bill.
What do you mean 10? 1 or 5?
Some of them are, if I'm not mistaken, like Yosemite is like $50 to get in.
Oh.
And then some of them aren't as expensive. It kind of depends on where they are and what the popularity is. But
Yeah. Wow, yes, Yosemite probably is very, very popular.
yeah, it's spectacular. I mean, did you
Yeah.
go there?
I've been there, yes. Yes, I've been there.
Yeah, that's right. You told me
Yeah.
about your road trip.
And the bear, yeah. The bear. But no, I've been there, but I would like to go again, of course, a long time ago.
You're sleeping
Grand
in your
Canyon
car outside of the
of
park
the
boundary.
park, yes. Cheaper.
We used to sleep in the parking lot of the lodge in our cars because you didn't have to make a reservation that way, which was, took months. But then they started to crack down on that practice. But that's how I went to Yosemite in college, is I just slept in my car.
Grand Canyon, Mark says, is $30.
Okay.
And then Rex says that the parks are all uppity. Sir, this is not a petting zoo. So many rules. How was I to know? I think that might be a joke. Yeah, well, I guess as long as it was consensual, mutually.
Have you seen these videos of these people in Yellowstone that are approaching bison and to get selfies? And
No, I haven't.
these animals are huge, and they will,
Ah,
gore people or, just like stomp on them, I think. But
well, yeah.
these people just act like they're a cow that's in the pasture.
But and animals, they could get in a bad mood, or you could appear threatening to them. They're going to win. Oh dear, people are silly, aren't they? What's that award? In fact, yes, it's the Darwin Award. Every
Right.
year they give an award to the person who's killed themselves in the most spectacularly stupid way. That's
One
very
year
good.
there was a person that, do you know a saguaro cactus in Arizona? The really tall ones with the arms, and they're,
Oh yes, the arms. As
30
soon as you
feet,
said the
30
arms,
feet
yeah,
tall and weigh,
yeah,
1,000
yeah,
pounds or whatever. But
yeah.
they had some guy that shot the base of a saguaro with a shotgun, and the thing toppled on him and killed him. And that guy was either first or second for the Darwin Award
Oh,
that
yeah.
year.
Good. I've heard all sorts of things. I've heard someone. What do they call a chair? You sit outside on a chair in the nice weather. Do you call it
Chaise
a
lounge or not,
yeah,
or
or deck
a deck
chair? Is that
chair,
the word? Yeah, yeah.
not a
If
chaise lounge. I don't think
uh,
that that's right.
yeah, that's a different one. It's a deck chair,
Deck
and
chair,
they
yeah. Lawn
tie.
furniture.
It was near Los Angeles. Must have been many years ago. Anyway, he tied all these helium, would it be, balloons onto it, and he took a gun with him. And the idea was, anyway, he got up higher and higher and higher, and the idea was to shoot out
One
one
balloon at a
at
time.
a time. Yeah, well, then he got very frightened, and oh my good, but eventually came down to earth. So it was lucky.
Oh, it worked.
Yeah, yeah. Eventually, yes, he lived, but he was given an honorary one because it was so incredibly stupid.
Did you ever
Uh,
hear of that balloon event that was in, God, was it Chi- uh, Chicago or one of these cities on the Great Lakes? And the city released 1 million or more balloons, helium-filled balloons, into the air. And you can look at this online, but the wind took the balloons into the Great Lakes, and some people got in trouble out there in their boats, and they couldn't find the people because
there
a
were so
head
many.
looked like the balloons. There were so many balloons floating, and so there were some deaths involved.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
I don't know. They called the Great Balloon Disaster or whatever, 1970. I think it
Yeah,
was in the
looks, yeah.
70s.
Tubian said this lady wanted to put honey on her kid's face to get a picture of a bear licking it off,
Oh
which is rather
God.
stupid. I've heard of a guy who put a jet engine, like off a jet plane, mounted it on the back of his car. It must have been, yeah. And of course, he just rocketed and bang,
He
smash
died,
into
right?
him. Yeah, he died. Yeah. Um,
He's trying to set the speed record, I think.
I
On
think, yeah, yeah.
I did hear about that.
Oh, so they're incredibly. A lot of them involve electricity too, don't they? They grab wires and well, they're trying to get free electricity, so they climb up these big poles
Get
and
electrocuted.
electrocuted. Yeah.
Try to get free HBO.
Funny. Before I come on here, I looked at a show that Lupin was doing. And the slogan that goes across the bottom is anyone is allowed, but not all will be tolerated. Tread carefully. Oh my God.
I've only been on that show once and I got blocked.
Oh, surprise, surprise. But
Have
I
you been
love
on
the
that show before?
No, I don't think so. I, of course, have been on shows where Lupin has been on, but
Aiden and I got blocked at exactly the same time.
oh, that's a badge of honor.
Right. That's what I thought.
So yeah, no, yes, I have never done a badge of honor not to be allowed on any of those shows. Goodness me. I'm You know, the other thing that annoys me a little bit is when people say there's no evidence for evolution whatsoever. I really don't care what they believe or if they think it's true. But to say there's no evidence whatsoever, that's wrong, because there is evidence, whether you accept it or not, or whether you think evolution is a fact. Uh, to
Well,
say there's
there's
zero.
massive evidence.
Yes, yeah.
It's
So
not just a little evidence. It
no,
is
it's huge.
massive evidence from almost
Mm,
every scientific discipline you can
mm,
name, and how they corroborate one another.
mm.
It's, you know, I just, I mean, Kent will say, I don't believe. I mean, we talked about this before,
Mm.
how he says it's 100% false, yet then he'll say he believes in some sort of, animals adapting to their environment. And it's like, well, what is that? That's
Yeah.
evolution.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
He just keeps it going,
Yeah. Yep. And
And
they're still,
then people accuse us, Mark or you or I or Atheist Junior, why can't you? It's God, you're obsessed with Hovind, and it's like, well, he still has his cult. His cult is still running
Mm,
strong,
mm,
and why wouldn't we? Why would we give up? Why would we quit?
mm. Well, at the moment you're still on the bit about make sure your money's going. You give donations, make sure it's going to the right place. The financial control there must be just absolutely useless.
I
If you're
think
still not sure where the money's going, there's something wrong.
yeah, who knows? Maybe there's not as much, who knows who has that money?
Mm.
I don't trust anybody there.
Did you?
I don't trust him when he tells me that Randall took all the money or Steve Lynn took all this money. Maybe he took it.
Look, it could be anybody, because you're right. It's just yeah. I find it so
I mean, why
hard
am I going to believe him about somebody else's crimes when he's a criminal?
Yeah. Oh, here we
I don't want
go.
to be harsh.
Father Charles has said, "Cows make cows and dogs make dogs." So he could. I think. I don't want to spread rumors, but I think his announcement could have been that he's going to take over from Kent.
Oh, he's
Wow.
gonna take over Dinosaur Adventureland.
Well, with that sort of gift of language and teaching,
He's got
uh,
the basics down.
well,
Get that.
he's said it straight up. Cars make cars and dogs make dogs. I'd say he's fairly well away on the track, to becoming a teacher, and he could just slip a bit to the Patriot University and get himself a doctorate. And wow,
Get a doctorate and get some corny jokes.
yeah. Oh dear.
If Charles took over Dinosaur Adventureland, I would visit there
Oh yeah,
very soon.
Well, I think Charles would want to make it, like at the moment, Kent is very quick to say it's not a camp for people to just come and do nothing. And I mean, I agree, but to some extent, but where I'm going to qualify that is that there are down and out people who've got nowhere to go and they're hungry. And I think Father Charles has more of a, shall we say, ministry or passion for them than all the other nonsense that goes on there. So, yeah.
So you don't think he'd put them to work right away? He'd give them
I don't
a
think
break?
Father Charles would. He'd be very soft. He would give them a break. So they'd. How long do you get? I think you get 1 day. Well, how's it feature for a day? And we'll put you to work. Oh, I just can't wait for the day that he is not so able anymore. I think it's rapidly approaching, actually. What's going to happen to him? Does he get put out to pasture? or pastor. Yeah,
He's gonna go until he can't go any longer.
yeah, yeah.
He can't get away from the attention and the power, and
Yeah.
he loves the attention. I mean, he loves the atheists. He likes that attention.
Yes, yeah. Well, did you hear that Dave Allen said that God probably likes atheists better than Christians because they don't want as much? It's not, oh, look at me, do get this for me, or can I have this and can I have that? And whereas Kent is
They're low
always,
maintenance.
yeah, Kent is much more high maintenance than an atheist.
I mean, whenever Kent prays, it's just so, I don't know, it makes me feel uncomfortable, because not uncomfortable, but I'm just wondering if he's actually thinking that he's communicating with a creator of the entire universe.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, well, that
Do you
is, of
think he
course, the big
does or not?
argument. Well, the whole thing for me is, is he genuine about his beliefs or not?
Right.
And I don't know. There supposedly was a conversation between a great evangelist and someone else in his flock who'd had sort of second thoughts. And the great evangelist apparently said, well, too late for me to give up now, which is very cynical, isn't it, if that's the case,
I mean, if you've made your living like
Yes.
Kent
Yeah.
at this for so long, why would you give up
Mm.
the golden goose?
Yeah.
Um,
Mark is saying that he won't get away from the Alabama Supreme Court either.
I hope not.
So there's been a new filing or something there?
Well, I think, and Mark can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think it's Cindy's civil
Right. Yeah.
case against Kent, and I think one of the courts might have either refused to hear it or passed the buck up. I don't know how that works, but yeah, maybe Mark can correct me on that. But
Yeah.
it is in this Alabama Supreme Court at this point, and I believe that Kent's attorney has quit the case. So,
Oh.
did you hear about this? Or
Yes, I did. It did come up, and I did get a person. Well, Cindy sent some stuff to me, but I can't open it for some reason. So, yeah, I'm aware of something going on. Yeah, so maybe.
I think she's put a lot of effort into this, and I hope it's behind her, soon,
Well,
regardless of what happens.
you can imagine with Kent, his lawyer would be giving him advice, and he would be telling the lawyer what to do. Because Kent does like to buy a dog and bark himself, whereas most of us we succeed because we do take advice of experts in various fields when we are not an expert. Yeah. Rex says that we are all jealous. We're just jealous because we know Kent will get to sit at the right hand of the Father. Well, he could well do, because as Achilles has labeled Kent the second, well, next to Jesus, he's the most important human. Christian, rather, yeah, on earth.
On earth.
I think it was. Yeah, he was. So all other great Christians don't matter, but it's Kent.
I mean, have you heard when Kent says, I've led this many people to Christ, and I want to be there when all these thousands of people kneel before the Lord or whatever. And it's like, how would you be there at the same time as all of them when people die at different times? I mean, it almost sounds like Kent is just sitting there at the gates of heaven, just waiting for his flock to show up.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if God sort of swatted him away as a nuisance? Wouldn't it be great? There he was trying to get in. Look, God, Big Bad Mama said this. Claude Bawles said this. He can't get it because he says he wants to do that. He wants to say to God with certain people, "I tried. I told him." You know,
Oh, he'd
he
throw us under
does.
the
He
bus in
said
a
that. Yeah,
heartbeat.
you know. But I just think of all the only way could work is if all the good Christians, because I'm very at great pains to say there are plenty of good Christian people who are out there who are not in your face and horrible like Kent. And maybe they might say, "Shut up, Kent. Shut up." Protect to try and protect God from all his, smarmy
Well, Kent
bottom
would probably be
licking.
headed to the other direction.
So anyway, Mark says, yes, Cindy appealed to the Alabama Supreme Court after the Conecuh County rejected the case without cause, and Danny White quit working for Kent.
There we go.
So Danny must have been the lawyer. But yeah, I did think she needed, when I read her staff, I'm going to be honest, it wasn't necessarily very clear. It wasn't structured. That's a poor choice, because structured has other meanings when it comes to Kent. But Cindy's thing, it just wasn't structured clear. It was all over the shop. So I do hope she gets good legal representation. It is worth it. Otherwise, that's what's going to happen again. Yeah.
I mean, she really shouldn't have to spend a dime on this,
No.
but of course she does have to, and it's expensive.
Well, all Kent had to do was to say, look, I did say I would pay this and I would pay that. And you know what? Just to do it. Walk away.
Right.
Done. It's not as though it's unfair, because all this talk about her grubbing money from him is just rubbish.
We know what happened. The paperwork is there.
Yeah. So we know what
I
happened.
promise you this, whatever stipend or whatever it is, of 1,000 and something. I don't remember what it was, but per month.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not her fault that they split up. She gave a bulk sum of money so that she would get a monthly stipend back. But the way they worded that piece of paper was, they were up to no good.
It was marital support. It was changed to that. It was never to begin with, because why would you say that? So it's very cunning. They change it to marital support so they can get out of paying back her money. Now, I don't care if it's a great interest rate and that's not the point. He agreed to it. And it's actually, I mean, I know she would walk away if she got probably 100 grand back, let's say. But he's got over 200 grand out of her. So whichever way it was to end, he was going to be on the plus, wasn't he? And she always said, yes, some I gifted, some I loaned. So that wasn't unreasonable. So that's why I get excited. I don't like people of being conned out of their money, their hard-earned money, by someone. I don't care who
especially by this old boys club that he's got going, and it's it's somebody that I really like, who's got shafted by these guys, and these guys are lowly.
Oh, terrible.
I mean, look at Hanson and Byram, and just look at these people. They're the lowest of the low.
Yeah. For a while
Chris
there,
Jones,
yes.
Terrible. I mean, imagine he's you're hanging out with Chris Jones and Jim Bob Duggar.
And Brady Byram.
And Brady Byram. Oh, God.
Well, this is interesting. Mark says the case has already been accepted by the Supreme Court on the merits. Her plea is rather disjointed. Yeah, that's what it says, and clearly pro se, but her evidence and claims check out. Yeah, so it depends entirely on how much the court is prepared to help her try and interpret that. And if you get a good judge and who shows a bit more human traits, then that will be helpful to her. As a judge who says, "Oh, you haven't, doesn't quite isn't easy enough for me to see."
Yeah.
So that can change from judge to judge.
Right. Right.
So yeah,
And I wonder if a settlement was, and maybe Mark knows the answer to this too, if there was ever a settlement put forth by CSE to Cindy, or was it just we're not paying her anything?
yeah, Mark can answer that, but I'm pretty sure it was no. And Kent would be like that, would be par for the course. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. No, that's it. Yeah, this is a spousal agreement, cunningly. You've gone, you're not the spouse. So the fact that you put in all the money is going to be beside the point. So, but it would be, I think, if I was advising Kent or Dinosaur Adventureland or the many parties that appear to make up this thing, the entities, I would be saying settle it out of court. That's your best deal. And you'll probably find that could be settled at far lesser cost that could end up costing him as he proceeds, Yeah, my goodness. Now, basically, apparently, Cindy wants 130,000 and a judgment for being a fraud. Like, even if she gets the first part, I think that would be a very good outcome for her.
Yeah.
Now, sure, she's probably put in over 200. So she's being reasonable. I think the courts will probably recognize that, and I think that will be in her favor. I do hope that they're able to show some of the relevant things of Kent plotting against her.
I'm sure they have all the video footage of this stuff happening, and
that will destroy. Yeah,
I hope she has a good paper trail of receipts and that kind of thing for things that she donated, but also things that she expected to get back in the monthly. Hey, I don't want to call it a stipend. I don't know what to call it, but
it's really just an interest, and maybe it's a generous interest rate. I don't know. I don't know what it is in the States. That's irrelevant. It's the fact is that was on that contract, although it was changed afterwards.
And it was really weird how there were signatures missing off of these things, and there was room for signatures, and some of the people didn't sign off on it, and it was just an odd document, as I remember.
Yeah, apparently it is an annuity. So
an annuity, okay.
Yeah, which is how it was supposed to be, and you can tell that that was the fair thing to do. But it wasn't. It was
well.
So that guy that sounds to me as that he's deliberate. We don't hear of him anymore. What's his name? Who's the financial genius or whatever?
Ernie Land.
We don't hear him.
He's retired to his boat in the Gulf of Mexico or wherever.
Yeah, well, it's very interesting that he's got out.
Well, I think he's isn't he running the business with Steve Lynn, selling the supplements and that kind of thing?
Which, if this is the case, it's absolutely incredible, isn't it? Because we know what happened with Steve and how this is Lynn, not the other guy. Because it's important to distinguish between them. And we know what he got up to. We know what he did. We know what was found at his house. And this is it's just amazing. And that he used some money to buy his Jeep. Why would someone like Ernie go into business with him unless they're birds of a feather flocking together?
I mean, it's possible that he's still part of the organization in some fashion, that he's, doing something behind the scenes for the organization, and maybe, you know, Hovind makes it seem like he's on the outs with the guy, but who knows? I mean, if he's in there with Ernie Land, I mean, why would Ernie Land
Yes, because Ernie would know
be
the
in
full
business with him?
story.
I don't get it either.
So it's either wrong or that's what's happening. I thought it was very interesting to see on the Worst Nightmare Facebook page this guy who claims to be the son of that new of the guy who was at Dino Land, who supposedly hired the ladies and looked after
Chris
all the
Baker?
money. Yeah, well, his son has appeared on the page.
Oh, really?
Yes, and his surname isn't Baker. He said he changed his name, and he's been estranged from his father for a long time.
Is this
And
this is the kid that was working at Dinosaur Adventureland when he was like 13 or 14?
I don't know that he ever worked there, but he says that he grew up being forced to watch Kent's videos, so he's had his science education ruined. He clearly doesn't speak to Chris Baker
It
anymore.
might, gosh, I
Yeah.
wonder if it's the same guy, because Chris Baker took everybody on this virtual tour, and he came to this vegetable patch or garden or whatever, and there was the kid, slaving away in the sun.
Oh,
And Chris goes, this is my son. And it was really odd. And I wish I could find that. I wish I could find that video where that was, but I wonder if it's that same kid, or it's possible it's a different kid, but that's interesting.
yes. Well, this one, no, don't think it is, because this guy, almost as though he hadn't seen his father for 10 years. But I'll just have a look. He also looked. Now that's the thing. You don't know on the internet. You don't know who's
Yeah,
telling you the truth, do you? So it could be
right.
totally fabricated. It might be real. So anyway,
Do you remember what you called Chris in the when you went on the when you went on that show to confront Kent, and Chris
no.
Baker and Sandra were there?
Oh, I caught it right.
You
Yeah,
go,
what?
Monsieur Baker.
Mr. Thick, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. This guy's name is Andrew Cole. He posted 3 days ago. He's maybe late 20s, 30. It's hard to tell. He's got a bit of an appearance like Baker. He says, just wanted to say hi. Thanks for accepting me into the group. I was homeschooled and force-fed Kent Ovens lectures as my science class growing up.
Oh my God.
When until high school, where I thankfully realized how crazy my father is and how wrong all Ken's teaching are. My father is living on the cult compound with my little half brother. Aha, that will be the
Okay.
one. And I think for a time was working as the treasurer. I have had a
Right.
lot of abuse and trauma to deal with from my father and people like him. And this
Wow.
young earth craziness is tied into it. It attracts these kinds of people like moths to a flame. So there
Wow.
you go. That's yeah. He's the black sheep of the family. Haven't spoken to him personally in many years. Yeah, so
That's
there you go.
a form of child abuse, just the fact that he was made to watch Hovind DVDs instead of getting a proper education.
Yeah, I think, look, it's no offense against some people who've been homeschooled. It's not always bad, but in many cases it is. The parents get fed up with it, so they put on videos of people like Ovind, if they're that way inclined. And they can't, and the kids don't socialize. They
Yeah, I
grow up
think most of the time it's
outside of
bad
the
and it's for
world, yeah.
religious purposes.
And then when they get some freedom, look at that Pastor Anderson's kids. They were all homeschooled, weren't they? As soon as they get the chance, they go crazy.
I'm glad that
Yeah.
kid got out of that situation. I mean, to do that in high school is really a big accomplishment.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So that was very interesting, So watch the space. If Mark or anyone can get hold of that guy or send him a message. I don't do Facebook. I just follow it. I'm not a member. Then wouldn't it be great to interview that kid?
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't mean the young one. I mean the older one who's
right.
Australian. Yeah. It
Either
would just
one.
be really good. Look, I would even love to interview Hovind's kids, that are able to, I mean, Eric's never going to.
That won't happen.
No. And Max,
They have their personal feelings, but they're not going to. I mean, look at the trauma that those kids went through. They're not in a place where they're independent of that yet, if they ever will.
No, I don't think they ever will be. But I tell you what, he stayed staunch, hasn't he? It would have been very easy for Eric to have given up, and somehow tried to, but he stayed the course.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of his mom.
Yeah, I think so. Cool.
I think she turned out to be and she always was, I'm sure, just a better person.
Yes. Oh, who's Mike Rochbums?
Oh,
Burns.
Burns.
Sorry.
Mike Grotch Burns.
Oh, now I get it. Well, you better see Dustin because he has experience in putting out fires in mouths. He might be able to help with the crutch. Do we know Mike from anywhere?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Funny.
I don't know who that is. Actually, I'd have to think about it. If he's, I have no idea. The name is hilarious.
Yeah. Poor old Claude is very slow on the uptake today.
That's the second time I've had to explain that to you from the same person.
Oh no, Mike. But
he just hasn't appeared in a while, but he was around before.
Max is, of course, whatever money can to spend on attorney fees is essentially gone. No result. That's right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh dear. Mark says that Ernie is still involved. So just
yeah, but I would think so.
Oh, the fluffy atheist is here. Have you seen the fluffy atheist?
Oh yeah.
Stuff?
How's it going?
Yeah. Oh, he's great. Yeah. Hi, fluffy atheist. Good to see you. Sometime it would be good for you to come on in either with the camera on your dog suit, or you could come on without a camera, and we'd love to know a bit about your background and what sort of things you've done. It would be really interesting.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. Oh, Mark Crotch Burns says, Big Bad Mama, I really enjoy your content. We'll get rid of that quick.
Thank you, Mike.
Oh, now this is really good. The Fluffy Atheist says his Monday night YE takedown is going to feature Eric instead of Kent. Faith around and find out was the sound of Turum. So anyway, Monday night, we look at the Fluffy Atheist. Do you broadcast live Fluffy Atheist, or do you just put it up after, just so we know whether we should be there at a particular time? And then Rick says, how do you know if my dog believes in God? Yes, and I think it's funny. Per Aspera says, I was homeschooled. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Well, he could be a novelist with that. Who was it that wrote? Where was that? Was it Dickens?
That's a good opening line for a novel right there.
Yeah. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. He could be up for the Bulwer Lytton. Have you heard of that? There's a Bulwer Lytton literary prize.
Oh, what?
The Bulwer Lytton fiction contest.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and I'll tell you about it. It's a competition for the worst ever opening sentence to the worst ever novel ever written, and it honors someone called Edward George Bulwer Lytton, whose 1830 novel begins with "It was a dark and stormy night." So that reminds me of the best of times. And the 2023, I've just found the result. This was the winner. She was a beautiful woman. More specifically, she was the kind of beautiful woman who had an hour-long skincare routine that made her look either ethereal or like a glazed donut, depending on how attracted to her you were.
I like that,
I
actually.
think that's kind of
I
yes,
mean,
it
look
is.
at that in relation to "Hello, my name is Kent Hovind."
Yeah. Yes, well, that was the. Oh my God, was it the his recent one? Questions or comments on comments and questions. He slung off at someone's grammar and spelling. I thought, why do people do that if you're going to be full, full of it?
Well, he went
Um,
off on Joseph, like misspelling a word,
hmm.
and he called him out in the stream. That was one thing he did too. He goes, "You realize you misspelled debate." And he goes, "I probably shouldn't call attention to that." And he goes, and he gave his kind of
Yeah.
snarky laugh that he gives.
Oh, here's another one. This will suit you because you're not far from Los Angeles. It was a sunny day in Los Angeles, hot and bright, and I was in my office playing mahjong against myself and losing. When she walked in, 120 pounds of dynamite, a blonde with legs that began at her ankles and ended in trouble. So today you have learned something. You have learned
Thank
something
you,
from this
Claude.
Lord. The literary, I should be a literary genius, you know?
Are you a writer, Claude?
Not really, no. I enjoy reading. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, I will put I'm going to put the name in
put it in the chat.
words. Yeah. Um, annual thing. There we are, Bulwer Lytton Award, because you probably cannot tell by the way I'm saying it, how you spell it, Bulwer Lytton. So, yeah, but poor, who was it that just said, oh, um, hey there, yeah, I am here, I need to come on. Oh, so if, I'm just going to put that. If you're still watching Fluffy Atheist, here's the link. If you do want to come on today, but otherwise come on another time is good. Wait a minute. The Fluffy Atheist, I don't do live, but I post at 6 p.m. CST. So that's 7 p.m. EST and 4 p.m. PSD. Yeah, there we
On
go.
Monday.
Yeah. So he'll put something up about that time. So I think it's going to be interesting.
Oh, and the video was what was it? Was a Eric Hovind response,
oh,
right?
yeah. Okay, Mr. Corsi, you don't mind you're not in your dog face? Oh, hello, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Wasn't intentionally meaning to do a face reveal, but I guess we are.
Oh, well, you can turn it off. Yes, no problem. Yeah, turn your
Why
camera
is my
off.
earpiece is not working? I have my headset earpieces on.
Turn your
Holy
camera
crap.
off if you like. Yeah.
Why is this not on?
You do have a cool beard.
Yeah. Can you hear us? Oh, can you hear us?
No, not that one.
I don't think so.
There we go.
Ah,
Can you
right.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you
Okay.
hear us? Yes, yes.
I can hear
So
you. I should
you-
hold on.
Yeah. Yes, put that on. Yeah. You got to be in keeping here. Ah,
Nice.
very good. Yeah, you know the Big Bad Mama?
There we go.
Good. Do you know the Big Bad Mama, my friend?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
That's cool.
I do not. Well, hold on. Holy shit! I have echo.
You sound good.
Yes.
on.
Yeah.
I can't see distance like this. Hold on.
He's going to end up slapping himself to death or something.
There we go. Now I shouldn't have echo anymore. I had the actual audio going on in the background too. So
Yeah.
Can you get a little closer to the camera?
close to the camera. Yeah. Hi.
Oh, that's
Oh,
awesome.
yes.
Hold
So
on, let
you
me
know
put
Big
my
Bad Mama,
recording light on too.
you remember Big Bad Mama, do you, Mr.
I do. I've heard of Big
You've
Bad
seen her.
Mama.
Yeah, good.
I don't think I
yeah.
know Big Bad Mama personally.
No, I don't either.
It's good to see you.
But we know each other from Yes. So, what got you interested in
I can put the hands on too.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh.
Tell us about your show.
Originally,
Yeah.
how all this started, right, was
Yeah.
a guy named Darth Dawkins,
Oh, yeah.
and like he found out about this, and he started like dismissing everything that I said. Anytime I bring up an argument, he dismissed it by saying, "Oh, he's just a furry. Oh my God, get rid of him." So I decided to do a video since he didn't want to personally respond to me anymore. So I did a full length video. It was like 10 minutes, and I threw the costume on just as a joke.
Mhm.
It was supposed to be just for laughs, just to make fun of him. And like I even mentioned, go ahead. I know you're gonna make fun of everything you see in front of you. And that I like systematically took apart his argument. I ended up sharing it with friends on Discord, and every single one of them turned around and said, that was freaking hilarious. That was amazing. But if you do more, keep the costume on because that made it funnier.
Yes.
So I'm sitting there going, the very next video I did about Mr. Batman, so I started it off camera and just going, what do you mean I have to? This was only supposed to be a one-shot joke. And then I walk on camera, I sit down, flump down. Well, this is a thing now.
What did Mr. Batman think?
Oh, he hated me. he was pissed.
You know who that is, Claude?
No. Who's that?
Oh, he
God.
claims to be a school teacher, but he's a creationist, and he goes by the name of Mr. Batman. But he gets he's kind of surly sometimes.
Oh, he is like insanely stupid. So, Mr. Batman, his favorite argument is to ask, why is it so wrong for you to be what is something that isn't going to get your channel in trouble? Personal relationships with the younger generations.
Okay. Yes.
And ask
Okay.
why it's so wrong for that. And this is his start for
That's what he does.
proving
Oh,
objective morality.
right. Okay.
And so I took for his video, I took him on this wild ride and discussed I brought it down to like a couple of places where it says in the Bible that they were supposed to kill all the men in the town, all the women who had ever been with a man, but to save all the young girls for themselves.
Right.
And I read it
Slavery,
in
basically.
King James. I read it in New King James, and then I read it in like the New American Version. and just it's the same thing every time.
Did you
And
quote that to Mr. Batman?
oh yeah, he doesn't like me much. Not after that.
He
So
doesn't
then I
like
went
many
down with
people.
Rebecca.
I've never heard of him. so,
Oh
so,
God, please don't.
so were you in a science type field, or is it just an interest of yours?
It's mainly an interest of mine.
Yeah,
I like sharing my knowledge, and everybody
yeah,
like that has known me, especially in Discord, knows like if it's a topic I don't know about, I go and learn about it. So
Yeah.
like half the time when I'm doing my videos, I don't know what everything is. Like this latest video on the Shroud of Turin, I had a good idea because I have ADHD, and what that does is it occasionally those in the audience who know what ADHD is knows what hyperfocusing is. And so what you'll end up doing is you'll get so engrossed in a thing, you will forget to eat, you will forget to sleep, you will forget to do anything, and you'll just be doing this one thing. A lot of like ADHD people, they do video games like that. Me, I do
yeah.
research.
Mm.
So I started diving into the Shroud of Turin, and I literally burned an entire weekend off just looking
Yeah.
into this stupid thing. And then Catholic traditionalists showed up in my chat while I was looking for a topic for Faith Around and Find Out Friday. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess you're my shit-eating language. My bad. I guess you're my topic now. So I knew that he's a shroud worshiper. So I did the Shroud of Turin and got. If you watch it, oh my goodness, I destroyed this thing.
Yeah, I wanna check that out because there's all sorts of claims made about it, but then I mean, there's solid evidence against it being that old. Isn't it from the 13 or 1400s, or maybe
1300s.
even 1300s? Yeah, and the fabric that was used, of course, was not in use before, before that time period, and all the carbon dating and that kind of stuff that went on. But yeah, that'll be a good show.
Mm.
No, I haven't even gotten into that yet because I have it set up. So
Oh,
I don't think Catholic Traditionalist is going to come in here. So I can tell you guys why I constructed that video specifically in a certain way.
Yeah.
There's two main points that I did not bring up. What you just said is one of them, that the
yeah.
cloth was not first century CE. The cloth itself is came about much, much later. The other point is that Sturm, which is I think it's called Sturm. I don't. So that group is actually group that was the 1978 research team, Sturm, and what Sturm was assembled by the Catholic Church, where the leaders.
To make a case for, I mean, their actual goal was to make a case for the shroud being authentic, being old, not authentic, but being old.
Yeah, and what they ended up finding was they found the method in which the artist made it, and tried to hide that in their research. But when it was picked through, people found it and went, "Haha, screw you," and the white horse he rode in on.
Hmm.
Mm. So tell me, am I remembering right that you do quite a bit about Kent Owen on your channel, or is it just
Yes,
in general? Yes,
I
we
do
do on
Young Earth.
ours. Young
My
Earth, yeah.
Monday show tends to is basically the Young Earth Takedown,
Yeah.
where I just started doing this on a regular basis because I'm still a fledgling channel. Like I don't have many more subscribers than you do. I've got like 305 or something. Just small channel. It's fine.
You've
But
got more than me, yeah, but not as many as my colleague, Big Bad Mama. I'm very jealous. Oh.
Big Man Mama's cool.
We have a lot of fun here. We poke a lot of fun at each other too. So we have a mock rivalry.
I noticed, like, in a couple of my videos where you commented, people are like, "We need Fluffy Atheist and Claude Bawles together. It's gonna be amazing."
Well, we need to add Big Mama to the mix, Big Bad Mama to the mix. And we have a sort of try and have a fun channel, and we have Christians on this channel too. We have a mix of people, and what we tend to think is we people who sincerely believe in different things, we don't have too much of an issue with them, even if we disagree. It's ones we think are grifters, like Ken, that we have. Would that be right, Big Bad Mama?
Yeah, it's the pseudoscience grifter doomsday types that I have an issue with.
Yeah.
Well, for the Christians, if you end up do venturing over to my channel, two things: I am very foul mouthed. I'm trying to behave. And I also have my channel is infested by an audio demon.
Oh no.
The audio clip demon. So he interrupts my videos every so often. He's not much better than me. Actually, he's more foul mouthed than me.
I laughed when you said that, because there's a channel that quite often doesn't particularly like us, and we probably don't particularly like them, called Proverbs Guys, and they talk about STDs, sexually transmitted demons. So we've poked a bit of fun at that. Yeah, true. That's what they sexually transmitted demons.
At night they infest you.
Yeah, so you have a whole new world which you can explore.
We should send him the link about the ST Demon show that they did.
Yeah. Like on your channel, can we send you links?
Send me anything you want.
Yeah. So we'll send you a link to the ST Demons, or Big Bad Mama might have easier access to it, but we've had a lot of fun with that.
You can also reach me on Telegram and Discord. Telegram I'll be Corsi Husky, and Discord I'll be Corsi Stardust. And so you can send me links. It doesn't matter. I'm fine. If you send me a link to a good video, I'll probably cover it, just because. Why not?
Do you understand those connections, Big Bad Mama? I don't really know.
We'll make it happen.
You can, yeah. Okay, Mark, he does quite a bit, and he lived at Dinosaur Adventureland for a while until he worked out the truth about Kent. But he says, and he is a Christian man, he says, "I'm not afraid of profanity. I was infantry, LOL. So don't worry too much on your show if it's."
If you're not afraid of,
you have to worry too much here.
If you're not afraid of foul language, you'll love my show.
Yeah. I never really noticed that about your show, so I must have heard worse elsewhere somehow.
Oh, probably.
Yeah,
but I'm not too foul mouthed, because I don't want to piss off the YouTube gods.
Yeah.
But yeah, the audio clip demon is a lot more foul mouthed than me. Yeah. I'll say, "Hey, audio clip demon. Hey, bitch."
No, Mark Stoney says, "Play ST Demon. We will put it up one day. Have you done any clips on it, Big Bad Mama?"
I'd have to find it. I'm not sure.
I won't do it today, but Mark hasn't seen it, so he will enjoy that sometime. Yeah. Mark Stoney says, "I'm Christian, and I guarantee I swear more than Claude Bawles and Big Bad Mama combined." Well,
I don't know about that.
Well, I don't hear you.
I don't swear on the streams, but if I'm driving a car, I'll string 5 curse words together. If somebody cuts me off or something.
Road rage. Oh no.
Road rage.
Oh dear. So, with the singing, that mask is so funny. I do like it though.
Yeah.
So, have you had a long time interest in this, in the topics that you put up, or is it something recent that you've been?
Well, I've actually been doing debates online on Discord for a couple of years now, and so in doing the debates online, I've gotten used to doing the arguments, and yes, I put my pause on because why not?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I've been doing the debates online, and picking up a lot of the topics. And when I saw young Earth creationism, after I started doing a couple of other things, I went, "Oh, great! This is a great chance to talk about actual fucking science," because that's that's my happy place. But I needed to talk about and I also wanted to learn more about the Bible, so I started bringing up and okay, well, what can I talk about the Bible? So I've done um Jesus' birth, Jesus' resurrection. I did biblical slavery because that would come up every so often. Just I'll hear a topic come up while I'm doing these debates, and I'll immediately get into it and learn as much as I can about it in about a week, and then throw a video out real quick.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, that's very intriguing. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll watch some, Claude, in the future shows.
Yes. Yeah. We'll do that. So, is this time of day is quite late for you or not?
Actually, yeah, it's 10:30 at night, and I have to be up at 4 a.m. So I'm burning time and burning my sleep just to talk to you two.
Wow. Isn't that
Because I've
cool?
been dying to talk to you. You're such an interesting person. I'm like, Claude Bawles. It reminds me of an old book.
Well, we are all characters there, and you know, we're a mix of reality and fiction combined.
Well, you'd be the reality, and this would be fiction.
I don't know.
I'm
I don't
literally a
know.
cartoon character.
Yeah, that's a real
Well,
picture of Claude, by the way.
I'm a French character. But our French, well, I leave that up to the imagination.
Well, here, I don't really have to keep the head on, I guess.
Well, you don't do, it's up to you whether you mind being
Well, I mean,
seen
the
or not.
audience has already seen my face, so it's no
Yeah.
big deal.
Yeah. But if you wanted, I can take
It does
that
look
down.
hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think it
your
matters
piece.
too much anyway. Yeah.
That's a great mask, though, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
There we go.
Oh, he's. Do I see Rubik's cubes in the
Yes, that
background?
my Rubik's cube stack off to the side. I have a lot of them.
So do
Wow.
Plus this one.
Oh, what's that one? I haven't.
This one is called a Megaminx. This 12 sides.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
It looks like a Dungeons and Dragons die.
Yeah, it's 12 sided.
So, are you quite speedy at Rubik's now? With all those?
I can do a 3x3 in about less than 2 minutes. I'm not super fast.
Sounds fast to me. How
That's
long does
pretty
it take
fast,
you,
yeah.
big bad mama? How long does it take you?
I don't think I've ever finished one.
I'm going to desert you.
Certainly not 2 minutes.
Oh,
I used to
no.
easily be able to get 2 sides, and then I kind of got stumped after that.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Oh, he's
Oh, here we
doing it.
go.
Oh,
Okay. That's mixed up. Here we go.
right. He's starting. I can do like a commentary, like a horse race. And the fluffy atheist has picked up the cube in one hand.
Can you lift it up a little bit?
Oh, yeah. A
Fluffy.
person who's used to doing performances might actually know to do that first.
And he's turning the cube around. Oh my God, he's twisted the other thing. And he's coming along to the final straight. Did I sound like
still
a
got a
horse
bit to go.
racer?
Oh, that's
But
already
give them a little more
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Captive Desk says that he's seen folks solving them with their feet. Isn't that
Yes,
incredible?
people solve these with their feet. It's insane. Watching
Wow.
that.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Captain Dusk.
Okay.
Rex Nihilo is being very funny today. Please don't stack off, he says. Mark Sony says that's some skill. I solved one once and then they banned a spec. Whoa, look at
Good
that.
job.
He's done it.
Nice.
Wow.
That was quick.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
So yeah, I can solve this, but I'm not going to do it that. It takes about 10
Oh,
minutes.
no. That's fine. It's amazing.
The 3x3 is like basic now.
Claude, have you solved one of those yet?
Oh, I just can't answer. I'm just checked up at the moment.
If you think the 3x3 is hard, hold on.
Yeah, of course.
And this,
I was. It's got even worse.
grab that half.
Max
That's
is
5x5.
Oh, wow.
And 4x4.
Hmm.
The 4x4 is actually harder than the 5x5.
Quite the collection.
Of course, you remind me of Kent then, because he was a champion at just about everything. Did you know that? Well,
Kent?
He claimed to be.
Kent Hovind was the tennis champion, the chess champion.
No,
He
he's
dated,
a criminal champion.
Yeah. He dated 300 girls in high school.
And his kid is heading straight down the same path. Like
his kid's
Eric,
at least
like
a little bit
recently,
better person than he is.
No, not much. He's already like embezzled like a couple of $100,000 out of his own ministry.
Really? Oh my God.
Oh yeah, he's embezzled several $100,000 out of his own ministry to fix his house.
Jeez.
Oh yeah, and he's got a couple of properties now too.
Do you have a show about that topic?
It's coming up, I think.
No, that's not what's coming up. Is hold on. He does this like a quick 6-minute video, but he brings up a couple of things and go open folder. Do I already have it open? Yeah, I did. Okay. So what he brings up is I'm labeling this the Eric speed round. Where the hell is the script for it? Something from nothing. Young Earth takedown. There it is. So what he ends up bringing up is he brings up Niagara Falls, which I covered with Kent, continent erosion, carbon-14 in diamonds, rock arches, bioturbidation, which I'm actually really interested in looking into that, but because I only have 2 days to finish it, because I got to record Sunday night so that I can have it out Monday morning, Monday evening, and then the Great Unconformity.
Okay.
But the thing about the Great Unconformity is it actually debunks his claim about bioturbidation, which is funny. That's one of the things that entertained me about doing videos on Kent Hovind, is because as I was doing his part 1 of his seminar, occasionally he would bring up points and topics that debunked other points and topics, which was absolutely hilarious. And in the middle of his one on river deltas, he debunked his thing on river deltas. Because what he did is he said that river deltas say that the Earth is 6,000 years old because river deltas only take 6,000 years to form. And later on, he points out a river delta in India, and I don't remember the name of the river, but that there was one side of it eroding away while this one side is building up over the past like 50 years.
Oh, no. Oh.
And I'm like, he just debunked himself, and I mentioned it in the video, which got a couple of laughs from some of my people. Because holy crap, that's funny. In the what was the one that he did recently? I have it on my finished vids.
Well, these are the ones about the age of the Earth that he's doing the series.
Yeah.
He had one about the caves and Heat
formations, Sahara Desert, Niagara Falls, river
formations,
deltas, Earth's
and
magnetic
then
field, languages.
Niagara Falls, the moon recession.
Oh, the moon recession one was so simple. That one was so simple. That was the easiest one to shut down. Because all you have to do is think G equals M1 times M2 over R squared. And it just kills his entire argument. Because what it means is the closer two bodies are, the higher the gravitational force. The further away they are,
Right.
the less the gravitational force. So him saying that the moon's recession was a constant is mathematically incorrect.
It's ridiculous. But even if it were a constant and it is like 1.5 inches a year, I did the math and it's only like 70 some thousand miles closer 3 billion years ago. And so it still points to and that's, only 70,000 of the total distance to the moon, which is 200 and something, but 200,000 something. But even if you were to take a uniformitarian principle for the recession of the moon, it still comes out to billions of years would work. So I think that whole argument's ridiculous, but you're exactly correct that the rate wouldn't have been the same in the past.
Mm-hmm. And one of the other ones that he brought out, the stupidest argument that actually fooled me into thinking he didn't make an argument yet, was Earth spin. When he brought up the Earth spinning on its axis, because the Earth is slowing down, tiny bit, every year. So when he brought that up, he started talking about like how it was slowing down, and then he kept going with like all the evidence about that, and then somehow he got on to clocks, the atomic clock. And so I'm just listening to him talking about this. And for those of you who don't know, when I did the seminars, I didn't watch the video because I knew it was going to be that easy to debunk. So what I was doing is I was writing as I was watching it. And I kept writing through it and like, wait a minute, he's into his Q&A. Wait, was the clocks thing his evidence? Holy shit, the clocks thing was his fucking evidence. And language, I'm sorry. And I backed up and said, no, Kent, the fact that we can't get time straight doesn't mean the Earth is young. I was so flabbergasted. It was just like, just this moment of realization, sitting here, watching him yet again and going, no. That's the one where I really wish I was doing Audio Clip Demon for it. But I brought the Audio Clip Demon in later. But, oh man, ACD would have had so much stuff to say about that.
Folks, in about 5 minutes, I'm going to have to wind up the stream. So I don't know if anybody's got any things to say for closing. Big Mama, did you have anything else you want to mention at the moment? Or we just have these shows irregularly. But you will see that colleagues of ours, like one called Gangster Ghost and Father Charles Official, they all have shows too. Mark Stoney, who's in the chat here, he offers. So just about every day, one of us is having a show of some sort or discussion. So yeah, it's quite good. You're welcome to go on any of them.
I would love to. I think it would be great.
Yeah, you're welcome on any of these.
So you can see in the chat Mark Stoney, so that's his channel. So subscribe to that. And then what's Gangster Ghosts? So I'm just going to type that in the Ghost is another channel. And what's Father Charles called now? Big
Father
Bad
Charles
Mom?
official.
And is it in full or just FR Charles? I can't remember.
I think it's full.
Father Charles. Yeah, so and yeah, so there's plenty of us that are doing shows. Oh, another one is Mark Reed Atheism. He's a good show too. So, and you'll find the various people on that are in the audience for, we cross inhabit each other's shows.
I need to start doing live shows myself.
Yeah,
Because I've been asked in
Yeah.
like my Discord chat
Hmm.
about, but it's like I've never done live. Let's
Yeah,
see
well,
how this works.
look at there's
Claude got the hang of it pretty quickly.
if people come on, it's great. If they don't, you're sort of talking to yourself a bit. So I was lucky today. There's quite a few people in the comments, but then Big Bad Mama come on and rescued me.
Oh, trust me, I can I can find somewhere to talk to. I can
Yeah.
talk to myself.
Peraspera Ad Astra said, "Last words are for fools who haven't said enough." Karl Marx. Thank you, Peraspera Ad Astra. Thank you for that. I'm not going to take that personally. So yeah. Okay, well, we will wrap it up now. Thank you. I don't know whether to call you Corsi or
Corsi.
Corsi.
I am Corsi, and this is the Fluffy Atheist.
All right.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Two separate. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Good to
The
meet
name
you.
Corsi, the Fluffy Atheist is a show because eventually I'm going to get other costumes.
Nice.
Oh.
I'm actually working on getting a commission for a Siamese cat with cream-colored fur and pink markings,
Oh.
pink
Ooh.
points, and he's going to talk very different because the Corsi suit is my normal voice, but if I put on that one, it's going to be Strawberry, and Strawberry's going to talk very nice. And it's going to be great. So what I wanted to do for him is I wanted to do LGBTQ in the Bible. So,
so
So
did you
he's
make
gonna
that
be-
costume? Did you make that costume?
Oh no, this is a group called Stars and Bites. They make these costumes. I'm already talking to them about getting a commission, but it's going to be a while. So my channel is going to be well developed before I start introducing new characters. I do have a second suit that I have to clean up. It is also a Siamese cat, and that's Taipan, and I don't know what his voice is going to be. I have to figure that one out. But eventually, like, I'll have one costume for the educational side, which is the Young Earth creationist thing, and then one costume for Faith Around and Find Out Friday. Yeah. And we'll just see what happens.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for coming on, and it's been good to meet you. And we hope to repeat it again. And as I say, you'd be welcome to any of the shows. Another one is called The Missing Mod. That's another show. So there's quite a few shows of different people that sort of hang out together. Yeah.
Missing Mod.
Yeah. That's a. Have I left anybody out, Big Bad Mama?
No, I think you hit most of them.
Yeah, you don't do any live shows yet, do you? But you will one day.
Not yet. No. I do a lot of Ken Hovind videos, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's great. Well, that's where Corsi will have seen you from. Those are good. Very good. He spends a lot of time doing them. So thank you, Corsi. We'll say goodbye. You can go to sleep now. And
okay.
Okay. Thank you, everybody in the comments too. Okay.
Bye, everybody in the chat.
Bye. Yeah.
See you guys later.